Dr. G. Yep. Midwest action. Yep. Look at me, Lee. Got it. Come look at me, Lee. I'm a star. These people love me, man. These people love me. McFly. I come from Cleveland. Y'all can really hear it now.
Y'all can really hear it now. This is Young Casper representing RFM Radio, the Young Casper Show. Y'all can definitely hear it now because the Cavs have turned it around. This episode is going to be not necessarily dedicated to the Cavs, but to what the Warriors did wrong. And I know this is kind of a biased opinion because I am a Cavs fan. It's the team I'm rooting for to win the NBA Finals. As anyone that has heard my episodes definitely are aware of. But honestly, I didn't get to watch the game last night because I went fishing with the cousins. And I was definitely anxious when I started to realize, the game's over. Because I looked at the time and I didn't have service, so I couldn't see exactly who won the game. So I kind of just waited till I got home to see it on TV. 120-90, Cleveland over the Golden State Warriors. Outstanding, and that's the exact kind of game they needed. I figured if as long as they won by at least 15, it would kind of turn the ship around, but they ended up winning by half that. 30. So I'm definitely impressed. I'm definitely happy that they got the win. But getting a little bit into the details of how they won. LeBron James led the way as he had to with 32 points, 11 rebounds, and dished out 6 assists. Kyrie as Robin with 30 points for himself, 8 assists. And like I've stated, the bench had to come in and provide that extra relief for the starters when they come out. So J.R. Smith with 20 points, and with Kevin Love not playing in this game, it was, even though Kevin Love has been struggling in this series and has struggled a little bit in the Toronto series, the man doesn't struggle for long. The man has bounce back games like you wouldn't believe if you haven't watched too much of Cleveland. And I don't know, I think it's like he takes the criticism from his defeats and misfortunes in previous games and comes out and plays like a warrior, so to speak, in the next game. So we'll just have to see in Game 4 what Ty Lue wants to do with him, because he's not going to necessarily be, I don't believe, a force in the paint as much. I think he's going to be like what he used to be in Minnesota with the threes. So I don't know. I'm interested to see how it all pans out. I mean, Golden State last night, Curry had like a average basketball player score with 19 points. Going back to the regular season and even in the playoffs, I believe he's averaged at least 25, 26 points per game. And a lot of games he breaks out with at least 30. So, big struggle for not only Stephon Curry, but Klay Thompson as well. These two have not come to perform. They have not come to, and there's a lot of series. There's a lot of the series left. So, it's going to have to be Cleveland grinding it out. Because when Klay and Curry get it really going, it's going to have to take a dominant force to be able to stop them and the smart team that Golden State is. I give credit where credit is due. Yes, I do not want them to win, but they are a great team. Didn't show that last night, though. But is it really that they didn't show it last night? Or is it Cleveland showing that, they're tired of getting beat around and they were just the first two games, it went straight to Golden State. Golden State 104-89 game 1. Golden State 110-77 game 2. Game 3, Cavs finally pull it off, and that's what we're talking about today. And they turn it around. And I am definitely excited for game 4. Hopefully I can catch it this time. And Cavs can repeat exactly what they did. Because as long as they repeat what they did, obviously, the end result will be series tied at 2 apiece, going back to Golden State, and then back to Cleveland, and then back to Golden State if necessary. But what was my prediction? 4-2. So yeah, game 6 and 6 Cleveland. So for that to happen, they literally have to win the next 3 games. Now, is that impossible? No. And this is why I'm going to tell you it is not impossible, because 2 of the next 3 games are at home. So, let's write this down. It's 2-1. Golden State obviously has the lead. Let's say Cleveland wins tomorrow night at home. 2-2. I'm just breaking it down for you. We go back to Golden State, okay? Cleveland somehow pulls it off. That's 3-2 Cavs, okay? Now, this is just my bold prediction, and not necessarily just my bold prediction, but kind of what I want to happen. It's just what I want to happen. All right, and we go back to Golden State, okay? With the Cavs leading 3-2. Now, if that happens, I will be super excited. Because, look at it. It started out 2-0. Nobody was talking about the Cavs. They said, oh, you guys don't have no heart. You guys don't have nothing. But for them to show the world that it doesn't matter how far down you are, not only just in a series, let me break this down for anyone, but anything in life. You may feel like you have not got that promotion because someone someone after you got the promotion before you, and you've been working. It doesn't matter how long you were down or how many you were down by. You always will have that opportunity to shine, that opportunity to show not only the world, but show whatever situation you're going through, that you can overcome it and be a champion. So that's my prediction. But that's probably not what's going to happen, because Golden State does not lose too many games after losing, the next game. They never lose consecutive games. So it's interesting to see if that could actually happen, because I'm excited to see if Cleveland Cavaliers can actually do it. I am a little disappointed that I missed the game last night, but then again, spending time with family is definitely more important. But I definitely missed a great game from a LeBron James fan aspect. And with him, like I said, he had 32 points leading the way and 11 rebounds and 6 assists. That's the way that he has to play again. And not only is that the way that he has to play again throughout this series, for the remainder of the series, but Kyrie has to play just as he has as well in Game 3, being Robin to the Batman. And, like I said, the bench is a key part. And I know I feel like, if you've heard this whole episode, I'm kind of repeating myself, but J.R. Smith ended with 20 points. He needs to do that, and the bench of the Cleveland Cavaliers needs to follow in J.R. Smith's footsteps, basically. It's going to be hard to shoot those quick threes like he does, but at the end of the day, the man can shoot threes. So, we just had a call from a cousin of mine. Let me go ahead and reply to him real quick. Alright, cool. I just had to contact my cousin real quick. So, excuse me if you hear the vibrations and a little bit of the noise in the background. But, like I was saying, the bench needs to play well for either team to win. This is not tennis. This is not an individual weightlifting sport or CrossFit or this, that. It is a team sport. And everyone needs to be clicking on all cylinders to be able to win this championship for the Cleveland Cavaliers. And jumping a little bit more, I know I've talked a lot about the Cleveland Cavaliers as a whole. And it is definitely something that they need to work on if they want to win. Like I've stated, Golden State's Stephen Curry with only 19 points, and I believe the last game they only had 10 points each, but they still found a way to win in Game 2. But Game 3, it's the key players have to step it up because the bench is playing well. Even the other starters are playing pretty decent. So, just as a Golden State aspect, they definitely need to come back with a response to how Cleveland just demolished them in Game 3. So, like I stated, Golden State struggled a lot, but from downtown, they only made 9 of 33 three-point attempts last night. Let me circle that because it's 9. It's normally like 22 out of 33 or 18 out of 28. They don't miss too many threes. They might miss 8 or 10 a game. And yes, they kind of live and die by the three, but the one thing that stands out, it's not that they made 9 of 3, it's that they took 33 threes. It's like they live and die by the three completely a little too much, and I kind of think that, they need to change that around, and spend more effort in going into the paint and mid-range shots, because don't get me wrong, I love the 3-point shot. I play basketball, I love to shoot the 3. But just from an aspect of someone that's not only just a fan of NBA, but let's just put it into contents of a fan of Golden State. I'm not saying I am. I don't hate them, and just the coaching staff and everyone else. You have to be able, and I'm not saying they haven't drove to the basket enough or this and that, but I think you need to not balance it out as much. Because you are shooting a lot of threes. 33 threes. My goodness. I understand that it is, 3 points, but you have to be able to get away from the balance. Instead of taking 33 threes, forgive me for the vibration. I forgot to put my phone on silent, so some of the notifications and messages might pop up. But instead of shooting 33 threes, why not shoot 23 threes? See, that would have been a little different outcome if you would have had 9 over 23 instead of 9 over 33, and had more drives to the basket. Instead of taking those 10 threes,